All right, y'all. It has happened. Michigan has been given their NCAA punishment, if you will, from the folks over there in Indianapolis. Um, in terms of their whole sign stealing scandal with Connor Stallions and Jim Harbaugh back a couple years ago. So I'll give you guys my thoughts on that. There's also some stuff on Hugh Freeze I'll get to later in the video here. But like I said on the show yesterday, I was going to do this. I was going to do this reaction. Wasn't going to wait until the show Tuesday to do this reaction. I mean, everyone's doing one now. Like Josh Pate has a video out now. I think Cover 3 is live right now as we're speaking. Um, so I figured why not just go ahead and go get and start recording this. It sounds pretty casual. I know I'm stumbling here, but trust me, this is actually my third time doing this. So the last one, I wasn't even, my microphone was off, and the other time I completely stumbled. So through my words. So hopefully this makes sense. But if you sort of break this down, if you haven't seen it yet. So the NCAA, well, this actually leaked before the NCAA made it official. I think like Pete Thamel and some of the folks over at Yahoo Sports got this before, as per usual. I know it was originally supposed to happen at 12, but then again, reporters are going to get stuff reported on early. It's typical protocol, it seems like. So this is sort of broken out in three parts. So the first part is that Michigan is essentially paying the NCAA. Essentially, they're sending them a check. I don't know. I'm not going to go into the exact details. Other people will do that for you. But bottom line is they're essentially sending them a check. They're paying a fine. It's basically essentially it adds up to, in the real world, or in more in simpler terms, it's like paying a speeding ticket. Essentially, just paying it off. That's basically what it is. Even though it's a lot more money, obviously you're talking about millions of dollars, but that's basically what it is. So that's the first part. Second part, as I thought was going to happen yesterday on the show, that Jim Harbaugh and Connor Stallions have show causes. Makes sense. Like Jim Harbaugh is like he's never come back to college. He's going to retire as a NFL head coach. He's even mentioned that he doesn't really associate with Michigan anymore for whatever reason that may be. But him and Connor Stallions have show causes on them. The Jim Harbaugh thing, it's kind of whatever. He's staying in the NFL and he's never leaving. He's going to basically die as an NFL head coach, essentially. He's not leaving. And Connor Stallions, whatever. I guess that's kind of what I expect him to do. The third part of it is interesting, is that Jerome Moore, on top of the two games he is not coaching this year, which is like a G5 game and the game against Nebraska on the road, that he'll be suspended next year from Michigan's was going to be their home opener against Western Michigan, but now it's in freaking Munich, Germany, of all fucking places. I've already done my whole run on that last week, if you didn't watch last week's Thursday show. But yeah, they're playing that Western Michigan game in fucking Germany. Whatever. Like there's something wrong with playing games on college campuses now. Great, good job, guys. But so he will not be coaching that game. He's not going across over to Europe. So I guess good for him on that. So yeah, overall, I'm not surprised by this. I thought this was going to be nothing major was going to come out of this. Some people were going to, get some suspensions, show causes for coaches who are no longer with the program anymore or no longer associated with college football or Michigan. And then the payment stuff, the fine stuff, Michigan paying the NCAA money. Again, now it's kind of was expected. I know a lot of folks in East Lansing, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, State College, Pennsylvania. I know a lot of you are probably pissed off. I'm sure a lot of you want to go ahead and probably storm in the NCAA headquarters, wherever that's at. I think it's in Indianapolis, and probably are demanding answers as to why there was no other harsher punishment given to Michigan. As I've been telling you guys, and as Josh Pace told you guys, and other writers across the country or in the college football industry, the NCAA is no longer hawkish anymore. They're no longer the NCAA they were 10, 15 years ago. So that's number one. Number two, anyone comparing this to like the whole SMU scandal in the 80s, which was way before my time, or like the Penn State stuff or the Baylor stuff, those things, particularly the Baylor Penn State things, exceeded college football. You had like, ABC and NBC News and CNN talking about it. That's totally transcended college football. It has a much wider, serious, and very dangerous issues that were touched on with that. This is not that. And I think all of you, and again, in State College, Pennsylvania, Columbus, Ohio, East Lansing, Michigan, I'm sorry, but what did you really expect? Did you seriously expect the NCAA to come out and say, oh, we're destroying Michigan football. We're going to give them bowl bans and scholarship reductions and TV, no TV ban or a TV ban and whatnot. And that wasn't going to happen. Not to mention, too, my tweet yesterday, I brought this up on the show. My tweet my reply to Josh Pate's post yesterday on X about the whole Michigan things. I think he and a lot of us were expecting this to be announced today. I mentioned on there, and I guess I'm repeating myself from the show yesterday, but I'll say it again. In my reply to Josh's post yesterday, I said, "Look, do you seriously believe the Big Ten and their media partners would agree with the NCAA to punish one of their big brands and give them like a TV ban and a bowl ban? That's not going to happen." Like I said on the show yesterday, that'll literally be management and just management and economic suicide. Like, I hate to bring that up, but that's what it would be. That would be just a horrible decision. And folks, if that were to happen, if they ended up going that route, I can guarantee you, folks associated with either the TV partners or the Big Ten would be fired. Well, that would be just a complete stupid decision that just doesn't make any sense. That would not. That's not how the sport works anymore. I mean, you think about this. If you're NBC, if you're CBS, if you're Fox, why would you in the Big Ten agree to have the NCAA come in and punish your brand and just erase a huge portion of your inventory? And that's not all of it. I agree. Yes, Ohio State, Oregon, USC, those other big brands, but still, it's one of them. Man, if you're one of these big media companies, the presidents or CEOs, I'm assuming most of them in New York, like, why would you agree to that? Like, if you're the head of NBC, like, why would you agree to have one of your conference partners have their big brands and agree to have them be penalized? That's like losing inventory for your streaming networks and your revenue. You're taking away some revenue. It's like, why would you do that? Again, that would be like economic and management suicide. You cannot do that in the way college football is organized right now. You just can't. So, excuse me, I'm glad they didn't go that route. I'm glad that this is the way they went. I knew this is the way they're going to go. I mean, if you've been listening to people like Josh Pate and Cover 3 and all these other folks in the industry, we were all saying the same thing. A lot of you guys didn't believe us. Again, if you're listening to this and you're living in, East Lansing, Michigan, or Columbus, Ohio, or State College, Pennsylvania, I'm sorry, but I don't know what you guys were expecting. If you're expecting some, doomsday ruling of, the death and destruction towards Michigan football, you weren't getting that. And we told you weren't getting that. And now all of you clowns in the comment section of, other people's videos and on X and Instagram or TikTok, now you're all looking around and have eggs all over your face, huh? So where's your apology at? Waiting on it. So won't probably get it, but that's okay. Said the Michigan stuff, not surprised by that. I don't know why people still think to this day that the NCAA is still this like hawkish entity that still circles around schools. Again, that's a narrative that's died within the past, like within this entire decade. Now we're 5 years into the 2020. So whatever. What information out there did you guys seriously believe that was going to happen? Like, what made you think that the death penalty and like the entire world was going to come on Michigan and send them to basically Gitmo? Like, there's no way that was going to happen. So, I want to touch on this real quick too. I was going to say this until the Tuesday show, but everyone's going to talk about it probably throughout the weekend and today. Is that Hugh in Auburn? I know there was that video that leaked yesterday that was actually from a beat writer who posted it and then deleted it, and then someone screen recorded it because it's, that's what people do now these days. And now it's gone viral of Hugh Freeze and during practice. This happened yesterday, and he, you have Jackson Arnold, or if they're doing passing drills or whatever. I don't even know if that person video team was supposed to do that. I don't think they were supposed to. It may have been like that was probably during the private practice. The private part of practice, like when the media is not supposed to be like filming and stuff, but whatever, it's out there now. But it shows like, you have their, they're doing practice and whatnot, and Jackson Arnold's throwing the ball to a receiver, couldn't tell who it was. I guess maybe Cam Coleman, or maybe one of the other receivers they have. But he was throwing to someone, but he held onto the ball, and then you have like Hugh Freeze throwing his hat down, he starts cussing at him and getting mad. And so that video goes out there, and oh my gosh, you have so many people who are, going, oh man, Auburn football, oh, this is, the first big evidence that Hugh Freeze is going to get fired and Jackson Arnold is, stupid and idiot. I am sure most of you, including I've seen practices get prepared, and I do follow the industry pretty closely, but I've never been to a practice before. But I know, listening to other folks who've been doing this a lot longer than I have, know that those type of things, like coaches showing emotion and players making mistakes, that happens. And everyone, on X and Instagram and TikTok are all making fun of Jackson Arnold today and saying that, oh, Hugh Freeze is starting to crack, he's cracking under the pressure. It's like, what would you, like, if you're Hugh Freeze, what would you do? Just sit there and be like, whatever, okay. No, you'd be doing the exact same thing. You'd be showing the emotion. You'll be, throwing your hat or visor or your, snapping your headset in half or whatever. You'll be doing the exact same thing. Don't be lying to us. Don't be lying to everyone thinking you wouldn't be doing that. Of course you would. Like, what, you want these coaches to be, fucking robots and be like, oh, it's okay. Just, come on, guys. Seriously, most of you obviously don't understand that and whatever. But, so that was happening yesterday. And of course, when I first saw it, is it similar to like the Caleb Williams? I know we don't talk a whole lot NFL, but is it similar to like the whole Caleb Williams Bears situation with him and Ben Johnson, head coach? Yeah, a little bit. But again, much like that, it's like, cool, coach is getting mad. I got water from my fridge today. Congratulations. Like, what do you want? A fucking award? So, yeah, the Hugh Freeze thing, I think that's getting way overblown. Like, who fucking cares? Yeah, the video shouldn't have leaked, but it's the internet. Things don't go away forever and whatnot. But look, I know it sounds like I'm crashing out today. I don't know. I'm just getting really sick and tired of people, saying what they were saying about Hugh Freeze yesterday, and then the whole Michigan thing, and everyone's making, all these opposing fan bases are acting like they know better than what we who follow the sport, in a broader sense and actually know what's going to happen. It's just it really is annoying, and I'm glad that this whole Michigan thing is over with, and and I don't know, it just really bewilders me how many people just don't understand college football. And look, some of these people are definitely trolls too, and which is fine, but it just bewilders me how many folks overreact and just completely just don't understand how the sport works. And look, if this video sounded like it was me crashing out and whatever, but it's just, I don't know, there's the raw emotion here. It's uncut. This is not the show and whatnot. And Michigan stuff, no surprise, the Hugh Freeze thing, it's like whatever. Like, if you guys want to make fun of him, and go ahead, but I'm not going to. And again, like I said, like, do you want coaches to show emotion or not? It's like Brian Kelly last year banging on the table in Las Vegas. Like, there's folks on ESPN and all these talking heads on TV saying, oh, Brian Kelly's showing emotion. Oh, he should be fired. So what, you want him to be a freaking robot? You want this to have no emotion? All right, it's fine with me. Go right ahead. Go. All right. You want your coach to be as soft as a pillow? Then go right ahead. If you want them to show no emotion, you want them to be like just to be a robot, and go right ahead. So, yeah, just some breaking news stuff here, and with the Michigan stuff, I want to touch on the Hugh Freeze thing. So I'm gonna get this out, posted it, and hopefully be out here soon. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys on Tuesday for the show. Be sure to tune in. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, podcast feeds, all that. But yeah, the Michigan stuff, no surprise. The Hugh Freeze thing, I think it's getting way overblown. I was originally going to wait and touch down on the Tuesday show, but I wasn't going to, because everyone else will talk about it by the end of the weekend. So that's my thoughts on the breaking news stuff here. If anything else happens, I'll do another video later or whatever, but I don't think I will. So enjoy your weekend. Take care. I'll see you guys on Tuesday.